Yemi Keri. Thanks for having me. I run a female angel network out of Nigeria, and we are focused on galvanizing female angel investors.
My name is Kola, Aina, the managing partner at Ventures Platform. We're an early stage discovery fund based out of Nigeria, investing in pre-seed and seed stage companies across the continent that are innovative and are led by ambitious teams. It's a pleasure to be here.
My name is Chinwe Ajene Sagna, and I'm representing Rising Tide Association, which is angel network, a women's angel network in Nigeria.
It's been an incredible growth. We have seen a significant increase in the number of people that are willing to participate in the angel investing space. Groups like the Lagos Angel Network have really led in that regards. We now have an angel network in the capital city, Abuja. There is another angel network that has recently been formed in the south part of the country. And I believe that these groups are really critical at educating people and really just catalyzing angel investing activity. As they say, wolves tend to hunt in packs. These groups have played a really significant role.
We have seen an accelerated growth. Initially, for me, I thought, okay, it was because I was coming into a new space and I was beginning to see things. But I quickly realized that, you know, the ecosystem was at its teething stage, and it was just a new ecosystem developing. But like other things in Nigeria particularly, the pace of growth increased over the years.
So in Nigeria, it has, I don't know if I would say necessarily it has grown. What has happened is the number of deals have increased. So typically the past few years, there were very few deals. And now there are several more that have become available, very, very interesting deals. And hence a lot more opportunities to get involved and a lot more interesting entrepreneurial ventures that have come across the table.
I think there's an incredible opportunity in areas like EdTech that haven't seen as much funding activity, in areas like even AgTech, AgTech, biotech, and the health tech spaces. I think the COVID pandemic has really revealed the reality that we need to invest in local innovation for healthcare delivery. And sadly, we're not quite seeing the levels of investment in those spaces as one would expect. Generally speaking, angels in the region are also, not very open to funding moonshot ideas. And that's understandable because access to follow-on capital can be difficult. But I think that, we can't focus on just funding, things that seem dead obvious. We need more experimentation. We need more risk-taking. And I think that starts to happen as the number of actors in the angel investing space continues to expand.
So there are definitely several unique opportunities and opportunities for investors to play multiple roles. One of them would be to assist with regulation. So when investors are coming into Africa, unlike other developed nations where the regulation is very clear and consistent, in Africa, we're still working on those regulations. So any investors coming in have the opportunity to, first of all, get really involved with the entrepreneurs or with the firms. They can participate in their structure, help them with their timelines, work on the board, and then even engage with regulatory authorities to make suggestions, recommendations to make the environment more efficient. In addition, I would say opportunities also exist amongst the firms themselves. They're very creative firms that have come in. So as you know, the old saying goes, with a lot of opportunities, a lot of challenges mean a lot of opportunities. And I think the entrepreneurs and the firms we've seen have a handle on those. So we've seen firms that are dealing with the farm products, using technology to solve the issue of poor land, poor roads, to link farmers with equipment suppliers in a very efficient manner.
The early starters in terms of early stage capital were companies like Venture Platform. Follow on was Micro Traction. And more recently, we have Future Fund Africa. And then now, as at last week, we have CC Hub coming up with early stage capital. Now, the angel networks and individual investors are also involved in the early stage to raise capital for startups. However, like you said, there are gaps. African tech startups are really starved of early stage funding. In spite of what we think, as an general increase in investments in the ecosystem, but locally angel networks are quickly filling in the gaps. When you're talking about barrier, I would say no, because you see, also there's no the markets. We don't have legal or regulatory frameworks for early stage investing that can create any barriers either. You understand that the real or perceived transaction costs and risks and decreasing the relative attractiveness of joining an angel investor is low. So really, the most referenced barrier would be tax or regulatory issues. That's when we make a pool of capital or when we invest, we have to pay our taxes. That would be the most referenced barriers, and we really do not have much of regulatory standpoint in terms of angel investing. So barrier to entry is pretty low for angel investing.
I would say the key barriers to entry is to ensure that transparency is in place. We all know from news and from maybe personal experiences, firsthand or secondhand, that sometimes the challenge also is to ensure that due diligence, KYC, all of that is in place, both for the potential firms that you want to invest in, the investors, and also the groups. And I think that's where the partnership, and you hear me talking a little bit about partnership, is because that partnership is a relationship. And through that relationship is how you're able to traverse these challenges that exist as a barrier. We know that regulation, there are regulatory barriers that do exist that makes it unclear what type of relationship, what type of investors, who these potential players are. And we also know that due to those regulatory barriers where it's difficult to do a due diligence, difficult to do KYC, but also if you are in an unfortunate situation, it becomes difficult to go through the legal system to get, for your grievances to be addressed. It becomes challenging. It's why these partnerships and relationships and networks that we actively work to build allows for that level of trust and transparency to be in place. And I would say that's the biggest barrier. And so we always encourage anyone looking to invest to look to form or use a platform, or use that platform at least to do a due diligence and meet like-minded people who understand what the challenges are, that's number one, and who have identified solutions to overcome them. And creating that level of comfort then makes the investment process a much more streamless and less painful.